How's it going, guys? My name is Jacob Schultz. I'm a 22-year-old entrepreneur living in Las Vegas, and I make 6 figures a year by selling private label products on Amazon. So before getting right into it, what exactly private label is finding a generic product. We're gonna be sourcing these products from China. We're gonna be throwing our own logo or brand on it, and then we're gonna be selling it on Amazon under our own brand. So getting right into it, the first thing we're gonna be needing to do is creating an Amazon seller account. So you can log on to Amazon Seller Central, and it's gonna be sellercentral.amazon.com. I'm gonna create an account. So for here, we'll just type in Joe Smith. My email will be joesmith600@gmail. And then a password could be absolutely anything. All right, so the account creation process is very straightforward and simple, but it's very important to get this done and out of the way with. And the plan that you need to start doing is going to be the professional selling plan, which is going to be $39.99 a month. So that's basically just going to be your upfront costs creating this Amazon profile. So you can also sign up as your personal name or under an LLC. Now, I recommend if you're just starting out, just do a personal name. You don't need to do an LLC. An LLC is good for when you are trying to scale your business in the future, or if you have an LLC already existed, then you can definitely sign up under an LLC. So basically just walk through the entire account creation process. Near the end, it will ask you for verification just by your driver's license or a bank statement, and then you should be good to go and you should be able to sell onto Amazon, okay? So after you create your account, we are going to create our brand name or our private label name. So what I like to do for this, it can be absolutely anything. I'm gonna show you examples. I'm gonna type in Copper Girl Mat, which this is a product on Amazon that has been selling fairly well. Okay, so right here, the private label names are gonna be who it's being sold by right here, okay? So we have this name that kind of doesn't make any sense, Awukan, we have Worm Hit, we have Netcat. So when you're coming up with this private label name, you can make it be absolutely anything at all. If you're having like kind of problems with it, you could do like your last name, maybe a nickname you used to go by, but just come up with some private label name so you can start getting the ball rolling immediately. And in order to figure out if it's gonna be taken or not, I'll just think of Bomo Good. All right, so nothing came up on Amazon when I typed in Bomo Good, which is awesome. So that could be something that is gonna be my private label name. Now your next step, after you have your account, your private label name, we need a logo. And you don't need a logo. You can actually just use your text put on your products. But for a logo, I recommend going to one of the two sources. You can either use Fiverr. In Fiverr, you can just pay someone literally $5 and they'll create a logo for you just right off the bat, okay? So Fiverr to create your logo, or if you're savvy, you can use Photoshop, or what I personally like to use is Canva. Now, Canva is just like a super like Photoshop for dummies kind of thing. It's super easy to use. I started getting used to it and getting the ball rolling like within 5 minutes. So you can just whip up something really quick, and our private label name is going to be Bomo Good, all right? So we got our account created, we got our logo created, and we got our private label name. So the very next step is we want to find a product. And when we are diving into product research, we're going to be looking for finding products that have high demand and low competition. So to use that, my absolute favorite tool is going to be Jungle Scout. Now, Jungle Scout, basically, we can fill in all this criteria and we can search for any products that are listed on Amazon currently, right now, based on all in this criteria. So what I like to look for are all these categories right here. What you can do actually is they don't have a free trial on Jungle Scout. If you are worried about paying the $40 a month, you can use like Jungle Scout's cousin, which is amazonscout.net. And from here, you can create a free trial, and it's essentially the same thing, but for this purpose, we will just be going into Jungle Scout, okay? So right off the bat, these categories, I want you to look at these categories, and I want you to check each and every one of them and kind of not really differ from them. The reason being is because these categories are ungated and they're gonna be very easy to sell in. And with some of these categories, you're gonna need like certifications, you're gonna need to request approval to sell in that category. So we don't wanna get a product and then ship it out to Amazon and then figuring out, okay, Amazon took my listing down and said I couldn't sell this product. That's gonna absolutely suck. So get these categories filled out right here. Obviously, things like software, music, we're not going to get involved with that. Next is going to be the filters. Now, filters, what I like to do, a minimum of $11. The max is going to be $29.99. So 11 to 30. Now, when you're doing this, kind of think what your startup capital is going to be. If you're thinking that you can dish out probably $500 on your test batch, then maybe you're kind of thinking like, okay, then that probably means you're going to source 100 units for $5. So you really need to think what your margins are, what the startup capital you have to play with. But I want to go lower than 11 because at the end of the day, you're not getting any profit. That's no margins for you. So I like to do $11 to $30. You could play around with this if you want. All these things we don't really need to worry about. Sales is something that we really, really care about. And that's going to be 300 minimum. So that means we are going to be selling 300 units a month minimum. So that's 10 products a day. So the whole goal with this is that we want a couple of products that are doing like $5, $4 profit, right? So if we have one product that is doing $5 profit each unit, we're selling 10 a day, that's $50 a day, that's $1,500 a month. Have two products that do that, you're making $36K a year, and you just scale it as you go. 300, we don't want to settle for less than that because it's not worth our time and energy to start investing into something that if we're just scraping for the bottom for. So 300 units a month minimum. Now reviews. This is extremely, extremely important. Reviews are like the king of Amazon right now. It's crazy how having X amount of reviews will rank you and how Amazon's algorithm works. So for reviews, max 50. If you feel like it, you can push to 70, 75 if you're not really finding anything good. But I recommend for starting, don't do anything higher than 50 reviews because if we're going into the market with these products that have 50 reviews, 100 reviews and higher, it's going to be very hard to compete with those guys because they have gotten a ton of sales, a ton of traffic, and it's just not really worth our time and we probably won't make it to the front page at all. So after that, I would like to do standard, not oversized because we're going to be paying a ton of fees and then fulfilled by Amazon. We're going to hit search. And I'm going to talk about fulfilled by Amazon. So essentially with private label, we're going to be doing fulfilled by Amazon or FBA. So what this means is that once we get our products or we find a product that we want to sell, we're going to send it to Amazon's warehouse. And Amazon is going to fulfill all the orders for us, deal with the customer service, and that's it. So the whole end game with this is launching a product, building it, getting to the front page, and then all we have to worry about is making sure our friend Amazon has inventory. And then anytime that product sells, Amazon will ship it out for us. We don't do anything. We can spend our time doing product research and moving on. All right? So right here, we hit search. Do results per page, do it 200 because you're gonna be going down. And before we get into this, the main things you wanna look for are things that are like weird, kind of make you do like a second take, and things that are small and lightweight. Those are the things that are gonna sell absolutely amazing. Excuse me. All right, so getting down into it, what I like to sort by are one of two things. I like to do estimated monthly sales and rank. Lately, rank, I really like sorting by this lately because if it has under 50 reviews and the rank is really high for that category, that means that this product is super new to the market and it's getting a ton of momentum. So for this instance, we'll sort by rank. So what I like to do is go down, look for a product that looks generic, something that I could put my own logo on, my own label, and then sell it under my own brand. So the main thing we're looking for is a generic product. So stay away from like dog conditioner, a queen airbed. You kind of want to stay away from stuff that's like really broad. Like queen airbeds have been a thing for like a couple years now. That's probably a heavily dominated market. So going down the line, mini desktop fan, stuff doesn't really stick out to me. See, maybe something like this. Okay, and then what I like to do is just go through an entire page, get a couple things, and then I'll start doing independent research on my own. So we have gas range protectors, still go down, fabrics, hand blender. See, I think that's a little, and stuff like this, like glasses with their own like, little cute, funny like words on it. You want to stay away from that. That's not really, private labeling. It's just making something that's kind of trendy. So we're not gonna do a candy bra or candy G-string. That's not a market we wanna dive into. Bath bomb mold set, excellent. Okay, and be wary, Jungle Scout can sometimes show non-G rated products, so get your eyes ready for that. Okay, so getting right into it, first product, we're gonna look, bath bomb mold set. So if I looked at this, it's showing me that the estimated monthly sales on this listing is 1,700 units a month. So that's not bad at all. So that means if this is making me $5 profit, 1,700, bad at math, that's like probably $7,000 a month profit, something around there, just off of this one listing alone. So maybe this is something that I wanna look further into. What I like to do, as soon as you find a product that has good numbers, low reviews, we have 25, excellent. What I can do is find the most broad keyword for it, and I'm gonna search it on Amazon. So with this, it's kind of iffy because it looks like it's a bath bomb mold set, and then they have other things they're bundling it with. So for this, I'm just gonna type in bath bomb mold set. Boom, bath bomb mold set. Excellent. Okay, so I'm just gonna eyeball the top 10 listings, the first page actually, and kind of figure out, get a feel for where the reviews are at and see what the prices are like. So we have a couple of guys that are under 50. We got this guy with 300, 130, 70, 70. So it's kind of above 50. And the only reason why I'm kind of saying no on this product right now is kind of just because that there's a ton of different variations with it. And we don't want to overcomplicate the process, because when we dive into this, we're going to have to figure out, okay, what else can I bundle this with? And because it doesn't look like people are just buying the bath bomb mold sets by themselves. It look like they need the coloring dye and all these different pieces and stuff. So this is like too much work. The reviews are pretty high, so that's something I don't want to get into. So next we'll move on to this, gas range protectors. Okay, all right, so we're gonna go onto here. We'll type in gas range protectors. And you just kind of have fun with it. You just go down the line and see if anything meets the criteria. So already looking at this, it looks pretty well. Kind of scared that we have 899 Prime guys. That shows that they're probably not really making that much profit, but the reviews look pretty low. And what is an absolutely must-have tool is Jungle Scout's Chrome extension. So Jungle Scout's Chrome extension is just a one-time payment of $99. And what it's gonna do is extract all the listings from the page I'm currently looking at, and it's gonna show me the estimated amount of sales, shows me the reviews, the revenue, et cetera, et cetera. So this is absolutely super, super powerful because we can see already, get an idea, and keep in mind it is an estimate, but it is pretty close, of what all the competitors selling this product is doing. And the kind of main things you wanna look for are, like I said, the top 10 listings. You don't really want a lot with over 50 reviews. So this is good for that. The top 10 listings combined should be doing a total of 3,000 units a month in sales. And that should be split fairly evenly. So if we do the math right here, you can ignore the top 3 because these are all sponsored ads. So right here we have about 900, 1,300, 14 to 18, and then it kind of trickles down. So I would not get into this product because it is kind of not spread out evenly. And there doesn't look like that there's that many sales. So I kind of want to look at this and think, okay, if I can get, let's say 20 reviews, if I can manage to get 20 reviews, would I be able to get to the front page? And if so, what rank would I be? And kind of feel out my estimated amount of sales. So if I got 20 reviews, it looks like the reviews are kind of all over the place with this. Unevenness is kind of scary because a lot of traffic could be coming from outside sources or like giveaways. So this is something that I don't think, if I got 20 reviews, I could probably get on the first page, depending on how fast I can get that momentum. But as far as sales, I mean, 100 units maybe a month. So something that I don't think I would get into at all. All right, so for this example, this will be our last one. And let's say that this is a product that we're gonna work with. This is actually a product that I currently sell, 3D pen filaments. So we're just gonna type that. Now there's a lot of variations for this product. So 3D pen filament refills. We're gonna see how that does. Okay, so eyeballing it, the listings again, it's kind of a low price now, but let's say that this might be a product that we wanna get into. So just remember the criteria, top 10 listings, 3,000 units a month combined. Reviews, we want it kind of evenly spread out. Don't want like 100, 200. We don't want key big players in there. And we want the sales split fairly evenly. If like the main guy's doing like 2,000 and everybody below him's doing like 100, that's gonna show me that I'm never gonna get like anywhere near 300 units a month unless I destroy the top #1 listing. So automatically, numbers are kind of but let's say that this is a product we are going to settle with, okay? So 3D pen filaments, opportunity score is not too bad. I like to start doing further research into products that have an opportunity score of 7 or above, just because it kind of gives me a little more confidence in knowing that there is a demand for it and whatnot. So 3D pen filaments, boom, okay. So the purpose of this video series, we're actually gonna just be jumping into something just to kind of show you exactly how we're gonna be creating the product. So we'll jump into something super simple like a camping hammock, okay? So let's say we're gonna get into a camping hammock and that's our product. We found that the reviews are not that high, there's a lot of numbers to be made and no one's really doing it. So boom, we wanna go into a camping hammock. So what we're going to do is source the hammock. And in order to source it, what we're gonna need to do, I like to check one of 2 sites. First one being Alibaba. Now, Alibaba is the website where you can source literally everything. It's all factories in China, and you can make items through them. They can create stuff. You can just buy wholesale. It's your one go-to shop for absolutely anything. Whatever you can think of, you can get it from here. So let's say Alibaba, something that I want to get into is a hammock, okay? So I want to get into hammocks, boom. Already eyeballing it, we can kind of get a feel out for what the price would be. So obviously the lowest price right here is going to be if we order the most units. The highest is going to be if we order like the less amount of units. A lot of these guys have a minimum order quantity. See it right here, we have 500 pieces, 500 pieces, but it's very negotiable. So what I like to do with Alibaba, as soon as I find a product and I want to get involved with it, is I will message at least 5 suppliers. So what I'll do is hit contact supplier, and just open them all up in new tabs, and I'm just gonna message them, okay? So let's say that this is a hammock that I wanna get into, just gonna contact supplier, or you can even chat now if they're online, okay? So what I'm gonna say, you don't really have to overthink this. Kind of my one main tip is come at a place of like professionalism. So make it seem like you're a purchasing agent for a company and you're like wanting to expand or like go with a new supplier and like you want to work with them. So just be like, hi, my name is Jacob. I work with 713 Enterprises. We are very interested in working with you and purchasing your hammock. There should be a couple of things you should ask them. The first one is being, what is your MOQ? Now that is gonna be your minimum order quantity. So a lot of these sellers, like I said, they want you to buy X amount of items before they'll even consider doing business with you. But everything is a negotiable. I always recommend starting with a test order of 100 units, just so you never really run out of inventory and you kind of start growing it and get the ball rolling on that. So what is your MOQ? 2, what is your, not white, what is your price per unit? Wrong your. And that's essentially just gonna make us figure out what exactly they want for it because it's kind of an estimate in the beginning. And what is your shipping cost to, and then you could do your zip code. So automatically getting your foot right in the door, we just kind of want to just negotiate this process super fast because this can be something that takes fairly lengthy because people on Alibaba don't respond to your messages until like probably like 6, 7 p.m. Pacific time for me because it's 2 opposite time zones. So what you can do is just message 5 of them and you just start negotiating from there. We need to figure out what the price is gonna be after shipping and just everything like that. So after this process, like I said, you could do it the same day or it could take a couple days of just going back and forth messages. Always get different invoices from other suppliers because you could be missing out on an absolute ton of opportunity. And before we actually go into our profit margins, what you can do as well is DHgate. So with DHgate, I like it because it's wholesale and the shipping is actually super faster because most of the time the inventory is actually in the United States. So if I type in camping hammock, we can kind of get an idea of the prices on here and kind of feel out our suppliers. So what I like to look for on DHgate are just suppliers that have badges, they have positive feedback, and they've also sold units before. I don't want to get with a supplier that has never sold units. And it's always very important to check the reviews that people have bought. So, I mean, like right off the bat, we can see that we can purchase a minimum of 5 and at $13 a piece and just kind of get the ball rolling on that, okay? So always cross-reference both DHgate and Alibaba. And once you're working with Alibaba too, you can ask them, what is the minimum order quantity that I could put my logo on it or my brand on it? And there's a trick to this though. In the beginning, you don't need to worry about putting your logo or brand on it. You can just create a listing and say it's your brand without putting your logo or brand on it. You can simply just put a sticker on the packaging and say like, okay, this is a Bobo Shop, like this is the Bobo Shop product because you printed out a sticker and put it on the product. You don't need to pay extra money on laser printing or custom engraving because usually these guys want way, way higher order quantity when you start doing custom work with them. So I recommend as soon as you're starting, just do something simple like DHgate or do 100 units from Alibaba and just put a sticker on your packaging and that's it. And that could be your private label, okay? So cross-reference the two. And then after we work out a price, so let's say we are going to get this camping hammock. Let's say we're gonna get it for $8 after shipping, okay? So what I'm gonna do is go to the Amazon FBA calculator, okay? And this is gonna actually, this is by Amazon, this is on their Seller Central site. And essentially what it's gonna do is figure out what our profit is after all the fees, like every single fee. So I'm gonna type in camping hammock. All right, and we just need to find a product that's gonna be relatively similar to the one we're selling because it's gonna go strictly off of the product weight and the dimensions, okay? So let me look on Amazon right now. We're gonna see how much these camping hammocks are selling for, okay? So camping hammock, boom. All right, so like I said, this is a product you shouldn't get into because look at the reviews, they're absolutely insane. But eyeballing it, we have 25 bucks, 20 bucks, 24 bucks. And what I could actually do is run Jungle Scout and figure out like the average price of camping hammocks so I don't have to like do all the math for me. Okay, excellent. Stop laughing at me. Cut, all right, going back in. All right, so now that we ran Jungle Scout's numbers, we can see that average price is probably like 28 bucks. So we wanna be kind of like the lowest price. We wanna have the best deal. We wanna stand out as soon as we come to the market so we can drive as much traffic and exposure to our listing as possible, okay? So let's say that we're gonna be selling our camping hammock for, we have this guy doing $19.99. It kind of looks like a lower quality than this though. We got a double parachute. This guy looks like he's a single. Yeah, it doesn't look, it's nylon. So it looks like these guys with the double are selling it for 24 bucks. So let's say we're gonna go to the market, we're gonna sell for $23. Cheapest price, okay? $22.99 we're gonna create our listing for. Ship to Amazon. You shipping inventory to Amazon really doesn't cost anything because they have a really, really good deal with FedEx and UPS. I've shipped like 50-pound containers and they like cost like nothing. Like I can't even remember the price off the top of my head. Like less than like $20 really, like 20, 30 bucks. Like it's not that much, especially if you have 100 units in that one container. It's gonna be like 20 cents a unit. It's not, you don't have to take that into your profit margins. Cost of product, what did we say, $8? Okay, $8, calculate, boom. So at the end of the day, every single time we sell a camping hammock and Amazon's gonna fulfill it for us, they're gonna take a 15% cut and then they're gonna take a fulfillment fee. At the end of the day, we are going to be getting $7.29 profit. So making almost what we're spending on a product is very good. We're basically almost doubling our money with this. So after the profit margins check out and everything's all good to go, what we need to worry about next is going to be listing creation.